and Chen.
Good morning.
And we are doing a project about autism. We are gonna ask you some questions about autism. Kids with autism react differently to changes. How does a teacher deal with it?
Well, one of the things that teachers learn when they do something like special needs teaching, and when they go to university to study how to be a teacher, is they learn how to react to different changes with students with autism or students with any other special needs. But also, what is the best way is if you've got experience, I think. If you're experienced, then you get to know what to do. It can be a little bit daunting at first with a new student, but you soon understand what that student does and what that student likes to do. And just sometimes have to just go with the flow and also be very flexible.
The next question is, what do kids with autism learn at school?
Well, kids with autism learn the same things that you and I learned at school. Some students have different varying degrees of autism, as I'm sure you've learned in your project. The autism spectrum, as it's called, starts at one end and goes to the other end, and all the way through the autism spectrum there's different levels of severity with students with autism. So some students with mild autism can learn lots more things, and some students with quite severe autism not so many things. But at this school, what we do is we adopt the same curriculum, the British curriculum, although we modify that curriculum, which is to say that sometimes maybe we make it easier or make it better for the students' strengths.
The next question is, what are some things they are good at?
Well, again, students with autism are quite similar to you and I or any other student. They have their own strengths and weaknesses, like anyone. Some students are very good at drawing. Some students are very good at remembering things. There's something called autistic savant, which is kind of the popular face of autism in films or in television programs. They'll often show someone with autism being able to remember lots of different numbers, for example. So a student who's a savant autism would be very good at mathematics or science or things like that, because they can remember a lot of things. So, but again, students with autism again range and have different strengths and different weaknesses.
The next question is, if an autistic person is crying or sad, how do you make them happy?
How to make them happy? Well, again with experience.
If an autistic person is crying or sad, how do you make them happy?
Well, again, you have to know the student really, because there's lots of different personalities. Just like you or I have a different personality. So do children with autism or adults with autism. There's no magic button that you can just press and say, oh, you know. But I think just the same way. As long as you know their personality, then you can try and make them happy, and also, you know, try and help them to understand why they're feeling sad as well.
The fifth question is, do you get to know their personality well? For example, if they have done something funny?
Yes, yeah. what sometimes is a problem with students on the autistic spectrum is that they have problems with social skills and social interaction. So what you and I would find funny, they don't understand why that is funny. They can't understand the logic behind something that's funny. But you know, some students do find things funny. For example, I know a lot of students who have autism that are actually quite funny, and you do get to know their personality and what they like and what they don't like as well. So yeah, I think autistic people can be funny and tell jokes.
The sixth question is, do you sometimes want to give up teaching a student with autism?
No, not at all, because I think it is quite challenging, but it's a different challenge to teaching students who don't have autism or don't have a special need. The reason why I wanted to teach students with special needs is because I think that I'm quite a patient person, and I would like to be able to help that student with their academic and also social skills. So for me, it's never been a problem, because I am quite a patient person.
Okay. The seventh question is, do you have to guard them everywhere because maybe they will do something dangerous?
Again, because there's a different level of students with autism on the autism spectrum. Some students are more of a danger to themselves than others. But I think if you teach some social skills, which we do at this school, and the students can become more aware of the dangers that are outside. For example, if we go to the shops, or if we go to we go out on a Friday into Taiku, it's very important for our students to know about crossing the road or interacting with the public, and you know, it's very important for the students to actually know what the dangers are. So in some sense you do need to guard the students, but in other senses, as long as they know what the different rules and different dangers are, then hopefully they can make their own choices themselves. And what we're really looking at also with our program is for the students to be able, when they're old enough, maybe after 16, 17, is for them to travel around on their own, using public transport, and also using having their own lives. Okay, that's really what we're aiming for, independence, really.
The last question is, do you often play with them outside? If so, what games would they play? How to play sport like football or basketball?
Well, I do like playing with students with autism, but one of the classic cases of autism is that the students are very singular, and they're very independent, so they like to do a lot of the things on their own, and they're not so good at joining in with games and with other people, simply because they don't understand the rationale behind it, and they don't understand the logic of playing a game with other people. So for me, I like to try and get the students involved, playing team games, because I think it's very important to have that team social interaction, which students without a special need or without autism have from early childhood. But it is quite difficult because they are quite insular and quite simple.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks very much. Those are some good questions. Thank you.